Welcome to Beyond the Open Door. I am your host, Domina, and you have entered a safe and sacred space. Class is now in session. Our dark mass for today, we continue in the book of the Luciferian Bible by Eugen Bick. We're in chapter 5, and we're talking about Luciferian practices today. And you know where we're going to go. I bet you know where we're going to go. And in case you don't, we're going there anyway. Um, we talk about our practices in this chapter. We talk about some of the tools we use for our practice. And one of our main practices is meditation. I know the dreaded M word, meditation. Who wants to do that? Who wants to waste their time with that? Who really wants to just sit there in quiet and silence? I want to give you a different perspective or a fresh perspective, or maybe you already have your own and it's working for you. But for those of you like myself, sometimes who get stuck and want to put it off and want to say, okay, I'll do it later. Yeah, I'll get to it later. Yeah, I'll get to it later. And later comes and keeps coming, and you never get there. I want to help you understand how important meditation is. Meditation isn't just you sitting down with your legs crossed, with your eyes closed, and um, you're just sitting there in silence. Meditation isn't even that you're just sitting there and you're visualizing what your goals or your intentions are. And that is part of it. Don't get me wrong, that is part of it. But I think we have this one track mind of that's all that meditation is. Some of the tools that we use to help us get into that state or that flow, we have our candles, we've got some crystals, we have some incense, we've got our statues of our deities or pictures of our deities. Um, we got music, those of you who like to have that auditory influence be, in the background. We have all these things, and sometimes, as much as they are a tool for us to get there, they can also be a distraction to keep us from getting there. And while I was in meditation this morning, I realized one of the things that was hard for me to get into meditation was hearing my own voice. It's easy for me to sit there in silence because I'm not a big talker. So it's easy for me to sit there in silence and just, have the pictures in my mind going and getting influence with that, starting to work with the infernal realm. They have N's, ENNS. Um, which is like their mantra to get their attention, to invite them into your space. And so I had to get used to hearing my voice say the ends. And then the more I got used to saying that and hear myself say that, it became easier, and it has become easier to just call them. And now sometimes I don't even use the ends. I welcome them into the space. I have my conversation with them, and, I dismiss, I release, I do all the protection and all that other stuff. But the main thing for me was hearing my own voice. But as that is one of my strongest tools, my voice, not the voice of the entity or the sound I get in my head from the entity, or the idea that I get in my head from the entity, but my own voice makes the difference. There is a scripture that says, it's in the chapter too. It says, faith without works is dead. Where is that one? Yep, James 2:26. Faith without works is dead. I want to change that. And for me, change without changing is dead. What do I mean by that? Because a lot of times when we go into meditation, we may start off with closing our eyes and going into a deep mindset. And then we've got this ritual in mind that we want to work, and we want to change something that's going on, some kind of condition that's going on the outside. And yet we have not done anything to change ourselves on the inside. So change without changing is dead. I don't care how many sigils you have in front of you, how many crystals, how many candles are burning, how many incense blends that you've put together. And all those things are good tools to get and help you and assist you into getting to reach the goal that you're trying to reach. But if you yourself have not changed, if you yourself have not addressed yourself, you're addressing the people that are mean to you, you're addressing the workplace that you no longer want to be in, you're addressing the family member that cussed you out unjustly. You're addressing all those outward things, but you refuse to touch you on the inside. So yeah, those things may work for a little bit and you may see some progress, but you're still a mess because you haven't swept around your own front door. Yup, 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 yup. We all getting spanked this morning. So I was in meditation. Three phrases came to me: rock the boat, push back, and stand your ground. And on the outside, I know what you're thinking. Those three things are working for those folks that are not treating you right, that situation that you want to change. But rocking the boat, pushing back, and standing your ground is for you to do to you. Rock your own boat. Make your own self uncomfortable. Don't allow yourself to continue to be complacent. Continue to do the blame game. Point that finger back at you. What was your excuse me, what was your part that you played in this situation? What did you do to get you here? What didn't you do that got you here? It's time to be honest. It's time to be truthful. It's time to get cleaned up. I know I said some stuff to myself. And as much as I've shared with you about some progress and things that have worked on my behalf, I still have some cleaning up to do for me. And I had to address that this morning. I'm rocking my own boat. I'm not condemning myself. Hear me clearly. We're not Christians. So we're not wretches undone. Oh no, there is no unpardonable sin. Mm-mm. We're not playing those games. We're not using those tactics to put a thumb on our head and push us down and push us down and push us down as if there's no hope for us to rise and become. Rock your own boat. Tell the truth about you. Here is a tool that I saw. Excuse me. Here's a tool that I saw that I have yet to use. I mentioned sigils. I mentioned crystals. I mentioned candles and incense, and the offerings of the water and the wine and whatever other offering you give, flowers and all those things. But here's something else. Let's put all those things aside for 1 week, starting today, for 7 consecutive days when you go in to meditate. And if you don't do it daily, this week we're going to do it every day for 7 days. Today is the 14th day of December. We're going to go through from the 14th through the 20th, which is next Saturday, 7 consecutive days. And here's what we're going to do. If you've been utilizing candles and crystals and incense and all those things, that's great. But let's push those aside this week. And here's the one tool I want us. I'm not saying you, I'm saying us. Me, I'm included in this. Us. One tool I want us to use this week as we meditate: a mirror. Now, if you want to light a candle and put it behind you so that you have some light so that you can see yourself, that's fine. But that's the only tool I want us to focus on this week. A mirror and our voice. Some of us, we're thinking that we love ourselves. Some of us are sometimes even saying it, I love you, I love me, I am special, I am gifted, I am important, I am enough. We're saying all those things to build ourselves up, and we're not even looking at ourselves when we say it. We don't even know what we look like when we say it. And while our heart pumps and we get emotional and we have the feel good that feel good emotion that builds up inside of us, and that's beautiful. I am not discounting that. That is awesome. Some of you have never said those words to yourself, and for the first time you hear yourself say it, it does something to you, because we've depended on somebody else to say it to us, to affirm us, to tell us how great we are. It's time for us to start telling ourselves that. But while we tell ourselves that this week, for the next 7 days, look at yourself when you say it and see how much you change starting today, and how much you have alchemized or changed or transformed by next Saturday when all is said and done. I haven't given an assignment, but that's what I'm giving this week. 7 days. And if you're hearing this in the future, 7 days from the time you hear this, make that your assignment for 7 consecutive days. Because change without changing is dead. I want situations changed, but I gotta make sure I'm okay first. I gotta make sure I've done the work in me first. So that when the change comes, I'm ready to handle it. I'm ready to hold it. I'm ready to celebrate it. And I'm not saying that you haven't had change. Of course you've had change, but I'm talking about let's do some deep manifesting of ourselves. Pardon this phrase, but fuck the world right now. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's always been about you. We've just been conditioned not to think that way. It's about you. I pulled And I think I've pulled this card recently. I don't know if I pulled it last week and I talked about it, but it came up again today. So recently I've pulled this card. Um, and again, I pulled it this morning. Queen of Wands from the Hermetic Tarot. Let me pull it up. I think I shared this before, but if I haven't shared this before, Queen of Wands. Here is, or here are two aspects of this card. Adaptable and steady force. A queen doesn't get what she wants just because she is set, one way is set in stone for her. The queen gets what she wants because whatever she needs to change, whatever she needs to tweak, she tweaks it and she gets there. And the queen doesn't get what she wants by throwing up her hands every time things don't go her way. The queen gets what she wants because there may be a roadblock, but she keeps moving anyway. There may be a setback, but she keeps moving anyway. And why is this card important if I'm talking about us changing us? Because that's how you're going to see your true change. We got to be adaptable. And this is what we're doing to be adaptable. We're moving some things to the side, the candles or the sigils, the incense, all that stuff. We're moving it aside. I'm not saying it's not good and it doesn't work. Of course it does. It's gotten us this far. But let's set that aside for now. Let's adapt. Let's bring another element into the picture. Let's bring that mirror right in front of our face. Some of us are scared to look at ourselves Even in the mirror when we're in the bathroom changing, or we're getting ready to take our shower or get in the tub, we're afraid to look at our own bodies. Why? Because we've been conditioned that society says the body standard should be this, and if our body standard doesn't match that, we're not worth looking at. We do, we as Black women, we do all these crazy things to our hair because we want long flowing hair, because that's what society accepts from us. They don't accept our naps. They don't accept the kinks and the coils. They don't accept that it's woolly. They don't accept that it's tight. They don't accept that it's not straight and stringy like theirs. And we've messed our hair up for years because we were afraid to accept who we are the way we are. As if that is the defining element of our success. We're changing our eyes, we're changing our lips, we're changing our butts, we're accentuating and we're diminishing and we're bleaching and all this crazy stuff because we are afraid to accept ourselves, build ourselves up, move in success just the way we are. So we have work to do this week. If you're willing to join, go right ahead. You don't need to send me you don't need to comment, although I appreciate your comments, but I don't need that. I need you to take care of you this week. Always take care of you, but especially this week, rock your boat. Rock it so much that you fall into the deep water and you're forced to learn how to swim. You are forced to keep yourself afloat. You are forced to adapt and make your way back to the shore. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. Push back on yourself. You told yourself years ago you were going to do X, Y, and Z, and you haven't done X yet, let alone Y and Z. Push back on yourself. Stand your own ground with you. Yeah, I said I could do it, but this happened. Stand your ground. You can still do it. You can still get there. So what it's taken 10 years? You can still get there. Do it. Do the work. Open your mouth. Look at yourself in the mirror and watch the transformation happen. That's all I got. Getting to the point. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Peace and blessings to you all.